Sorry, the refrigerator for some reason shorts out my wireless signal. It's pretty neat, actually.
All right, let's rock and roll then.
Rockin'.
You ready, Justin?
Yeah.
In 3, 2.
Oh god, it's gonna be a great show.
I feel like Cringer had a little watch on his kitty arm, and he was like, you see a little paw go like, meow, meow.
Just waiting on our hostess with the mostess.
That was funny. This picture's little kitty arm come in.
He's had a rough day, so
I believe that this is gonna actually make an intro.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on. He's so mad. He's gonna yell at me.
Hey fuckers, it's Friday.
Can't spell shattered without shat or turd.
Like a gut punch to the abdomen.
Some of the funniest shit on the web.
I call it a rock Fred.
I like the cut of your jib, gentlemen.
These 5 are the only protection we have.
The best part of the show is the genuine Hasbro love.
Good night, folks.
And of course, Pat's weekly farts.
Breaking news. It's very outside of the box.
Nailed it.
I love Friday.
Bob's Bait and Tackle, now carrying Hasbro.
They truly are your favorite podcast.
Thoughts, prayers, likes, and shares.
Shatteredcast.
From A to B.
Shatteredcast Uncut? Is that you? Shatteredcast
When are you going to bring Larry back?
My favorite Star Wars podcast.
Shatteredcast Uncut.
Complete fuckers. Podcast is intended for mature audiences only, and its sole purpose is to entertain. If it doesn't fit with your sensitive sensibilities, please feel free to turn it off now and
Shut the fuck up, Chip.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Shatteredcast Uncut. I have some people with me. Not Matt.
No, not Matt.
Unfortunately. You don't know what you got until it's gone, Bob.
That's a fact. There's even a song about it, I believe.
I heard there's multiple songs about it and some covers.
Oh, yeah. Samples, too. Janet Jackson and such.
Episode 243, by the way. Bobby, how are you doing?
I'm quite well. Recovering from the vacation and doing quite well.
It's usually some shit that you have to go on vacation and then you come back and you're like, time to recover from the vacation.
Yeah, to be fair, I find that often being the case.
Yeah, and you had to put up with Robert. I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of stories.
Let's be honest here. It's gonna take
There's a lot
recovery.
of stories there. There's a lot of stories. I would
you want
say.
to share any of them? You got time.
I'm gonna kind of see what Robert does, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna play the background.
All bets are off.
Because I'm not gonna go. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Let them all out. Let it all out.
Well, let's see.
Tell them about the time you took that big loud shit in the guest bathroom.
I never shit.
Lisa were in the living room.
I never shit in the guest bathroom.
And we left
that
nugget.
never happened. Friday night, or was it Thursday night?
When I finally showed up.
Right. Thursday night when Robert finally showed up. Lisa and I got into an argument. So that's how we started.
It wasn't an argument.
Well, no, that's true. I was debating. Lisa was arguing.
No, she was debating you.
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't arguing.
She gave me a couple of finger snaps. She gave me a finger snap or two.
A little finger snap?
Yeah. So that was how we started off. But then that was the only. To be fair, that was the only time that happened. So that was nice.
It's a debate. You were having a debate, and you were both into your boxes of wine.
I don't know if we remember it the same way.
Yeah, maybe not. I was pretty much into a bottle of Jameson at the time.
Yeah, you were hungover the next day.
I was like, I felt bad about myself. I was that hungover. Like, that's not good.
Yeah. And then we had some scheduling conflicts on the first day a little bit. Getting kind of rocking and rolling, as it were. We just have different concepts of time. And then the next day, shockingly enough, but to his credit, he was ready to go. I think was it 9 a.m. that you guys were ready, or 9:30?
8:30.
I think probably 8:30 was the goal, and 9 was about when we were ready. But it was very close. The window was very close, as opposed to the day before, where it was like a 2-hour late window.
I was hungover the day before.
Yeah,
really terribly so. And you're like, just stay home. And I was like, no.
So yeah, there's it had some ups and it had some downs. But I think Robert summed it up best on the last night when he said, "I think you guys were very patient." And we tried our best. I think it was very well put. It was like and I mean that sincerely.
This is true.
But we had a great time. I said this on Nerd Rage, and I'm not sure if you feel the same, but I know this sounds weird, being as though we just spent, 3 or 4 days together, but I still feel like I didn't get enough Robert Bobby time. Mm-hmm. Still like a lot of like family interactions, which are great, but I still felt like I was like, man, like I didn't really get to hang out with that dude, but just like a handful of times.
We hung out, but just hung out while we were eating, and hung out while we were all getting our shit together, or going on a hike, or going to washing the bag of dirt.
Yeah, well, usually, I mean, my shit was together before yours, but yeah, we hung out while you guys were getting your shit together. Yep, we did that. And
basically, it was TFCon. With less massages.
Yeah, less massages. But yeah, I had a good time. I'd do it again in a second. Yeah, and then Robert actually left the vacation spot about 24 hours late.
It wasn't late. We decided to stay. We're like, Scarlett doesn't have school tomorrow. Let's just fucking hang out.
New people showed up at the rental property.
No.
Robert was still there. They'll just be using the guest room. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I learned that Bobby really likes fireworks. Like, a lot.
That's not true. That's not
Laura, there's fireworks! Then they stop. Then, like, 10 minutes later, more pop up. Laura! There's more! He's hopping up and down on one foot than the other.
Well, look, like, it wasn't so much that I really love fireworks. But it was our last night there, and there happened to be fireworks going off. Like, there was a poetic element to it, and I wanted to enjoy it with her was all. Not that I'm just a huge fireworks fan.
I'm just loving the fireworks. Like, you turned away all sad when they stopped, and then when they started popping up again, you're like,
So yeah, there's elements of truth to it. Yeah, it was good. I had a good time. I enjoyed the hike, I think, most of all. And
went for a hike in the woods.
Yeah.
Saw some waterfalls.
Yeah.
And
TLC was there.
I wouldn't say we got lost. We weren't lost because we knew where we came from. We just didn't know how to get to where we were going.
We didn't know how to find a trail. But it turns out the trail wasn't really a trail. It was like a proper trail, so it wouldn't have been conducive to strollers and such.
Nope. Well, we did s'mores. We had a nice fire going.
S'mores? You gonna snore s'more?
S'more.
Yeah, we did some s'mores.
You ate a casserole full of melted cheese.
Wait, what? Oh, look. So one of my traditions of, because like I don't really eat like shit like in my day-to-day life. I monitor pretty closely what I eat. So I rarely get to cut loose. So on vacation, it's like a tradition that at one point I get some Tostitos, like nacho cheese, and a bag of spicy nacho Doritos. And I dip the spicy nacho Doritos into the Tostitos queso or whatever, and I enjoy that. And it's a tradition, and I did it, and it was enjoyed. But it wasn't. I wasn't eating a cheese casserole.
It was a casserole.
Is there a crust made out of dinosaur chicken nuggets?
No.
These fireworks are so beautiful. Get the cheese. Get the casserole dish full of cheese now. I'm ready. Bobby wouldn't come kayaking with me. You wouldn't.
That's true.
And you would have laughed because I capsized 3 times.
Yeah. I would have laughed at that. That is also true. I'm trying to think what else was really kind of noteworthy. I'm not sure I can think of anything off the top of my head. Like,
We went on a mountainside roller coaster.
yeah, which was good. Good time. You could control the brakes on it, and it definitely had a pucker factor if you held down the if you let off the brakes the entire time. I was like, I'm gonna go flying out of this thing, but made it safe and sound.
Yeah, we did a bunch of stuff. It was very, very like what we didn't get to do was like sit down and just play some board games.
Yeah.
I thought we'd have a chance to do that, but
I did too, and I don't even really know why there wasn't time for that, to be honest.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like our days were full of stuff, and that's kind of the stuff you do when you're bored, and I don't think we really got bored.
Yeah.
And we hung out. We did hang out.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
We got to do a review together, and I kept accidentally cursing, and he's like, stop cursing.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time. I greatly enjoyed that.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of fun. No, it was a good time. It was a good time, for sure.
All right, I'm sorry I asked. Against my better judgment, Robert D., how are you doing?
Hi, Greg. How are you?
I'm not doing that great, but it's okay.
What's the matter?
The question wasn't about me. Question's about you.
Don't worry about me. I want to know about you. What's wrong? What's the matter?
All this treason.
Oh, treason.
Treason? Question mark? Treason. How are you doing? How are you doing? What can you tell me that Bobby hadn't already told me?
About the trip?
Yeah, it's Campcast Uncut.
It was about a 7-hour drive each way for me, which was not fucking fun.
Uphill both ways in the snow?
It was, and I'd use my feet. And we washed bags
You
of
have a
dirt.
Fred Flintstone vibe going on.
It was so funny. They have this by the mountain roller coaster. They had this thing where it was like what do they call it, Bobby? Like gem miner's adventure. And I was teasing. I was like, "What do they give you, a fucking bag of dirt for $15?"
Oh, coming to a fucking zoo and amusement park near you.
Yeah.
The moms go with the kids in the office thing, and then they come out carrying bags of dirt. And I was like, "How much did it cost?" And it was $15 a bag of dirt.
It's true. No, that did happen.
Yeah, that's a pretty common gimmick.
It was funny.
And you had the little trough, and you washed it through the water.
Yep. Oh
Fucking
man,
racket.
Found the precious gemstones.
the bugs weren't crazy, which was cool. I mean, there was some, but it wasn't like we weren't getting eaten up. And there was a hot tub and a pool, and I got to hang out with Bobby in the pool. And not in the pool, he was sitting by the pool while he was chucking harpoons at me while I was in the water. That wasn't very nice.
I was reading. That's what I was doing.
And
I was reading.
By chucking harpoons, do you mean vaping?
Yeah, that too.
Oh, speaking of which, I saw half of a movie that was pretty funny. Game Over, Man. Anybody see that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Very, very immature, vulgar, violent movie. Very funny though at the same time. It was so college humor that I really didn't want to watch it. But at the same time, they were doing some things that were so funny to me I couldn't put it down. Like this one guy just wouldn't stop vaping. It's like a Die Hard in a hotel kind of thing, and this dude just won't stop fucking vaping. Little shit like that, but it's pretty funny. But yeah, that's about it. That's it. Oh, Bobby. Oh man, our first night when we got there, Bobby made turkey clubs, and man, he makes the best turkey club I've ever could have ever conceived of. It was so good, very good.
Did he bake the bread?
He might have. I got there so late the bread was already baked.
Man, no,
Did you raise the turkeys?
Yeah, I did raise the turkeys. The turkey was honey baked ham turkey, so it was fucking phenomenal. And then the bacon and such.
It was very good. It was everybody cleaned their plates.
I want to know more about the bacon game. Tell me about the bacon, Bobby.
Well, I take pride in my bacon. My bacon lays pretty flat, and it's thoroughly cooked, so it's crispy. And
Food Lion bacon.
This was actually Costco. It was from Costco, but it wasn't Costco brand. It just they had a good deal on it. Bacon's got expensive.
Kirk ones?
No.
The house smelled like bacon for like 2 days after that one.
Yeah, I cooked 3 pounds of bacon. I mean, anybody that's ever been to Skullfest knows I go crazy on the bacon. But you know what? There's never like we had like I think 4 strips left over, and I had it on a breakfast sandwich the next morning. Done. It was a wrap. Well, it was a sandwich.
Just for the sake of full disclosure, when I went to Skullfest, you had a whole pack of bacon. You started opening it. You're like, you know what? We don't need this pack of bacon. And like me and Robert and Justin L. and like a bunch of other big-bellied motherfuckers are just sitting there like, okay, I guess we'll have some fruit.
Would I draw the line? Did I cook like 1 pound or 2 pounds or something, and then didn't cook the 3rd pound?
I don't remember. It was kind of like your burger game, bacon game, your burger game.
And he left I brought him bagels, and he left them there.
I forgot him.
You left the bagels?
Yeah, I think there was only one that I was gonna eat anyway. That was left. There was only like 1 poppy seed that I would have taken.
All right, so now we're getting a little off topic here. So what kind of bread do you use?
White bread.
A little too hot for you? A little hotter than you thought it was gonna be?
No, I had it doesn't matter. So here's the thing: I didn't have my bread of choice. We had to settle for bread, so the bread wasn't great. It wasn't the best turkey club I've ever made.
Wow.
But my
that's a good turkey club.
My thing with turkey clubs is all about I take pride in my sandwiches. Like I'm not Joe Cook, but I cook a handful of meals, and one of those meals are just a variety of sandwiches, and I take pride in them. And the thing that I'm most concerned about when making a sandwich is the ratio of ingredients to one another. So the turkey club is just something that I'm confident. I'm the most confident in, giving to someone.
It was surprisingly moist.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses and not a lot of bread talk.
It was Martin's potato bread.
Interesting choice, Bobby.
Yeah, my go-to is Arnold's Country White. That's my go-to. And then if I can't do that, then I'll do then sometimes I'll use some fancy bread and not really make it a proper club. Like I'll do like a sub
brioche
kind of thing. And then but this was just a necessity being the mother of all invention sort of situation. It was not my best.
What sort of fixings?
Sardines.
So you mean like in terms of like sides?
Vegetation.
Oh, just lettuce and tomato.
I could do without the tomato, but okay. Condiments?
And I'm sorry, and the tomato was like locally grown, like super fresh.
It still tasted like shit, I'm sure. I hate tomatoes. I hate raw tomato.
Gotcha. Condiments, mayonnaise only.
Old move.
On all 3. I put it on all 3 pieces though.
Your cheeses?
Swiss.
Was there ham involved?
Negative.
Man, I wasn't there, but I'm gonna have to give you like a fucking.
Yeah, I know some people that's a deal breaker.
I'm gonna give you a shaky C on this one.
No, not at all. That was like one of the best.
I'm not talking to you, Robert D.
Some people,
defense attorney.
Some people are feel a way about the ham on a turkey club. I'm one of the people that feels that strongly that it should not be a part of it.
Bobby doesn't like ham.
But it's also mainly because I don't like ham. So.
Yeah, I hear you.
My ham was honey baked though. Like it was. I mean, my turkey was honey baked. So it was like I mean, it's a fancy ass turkey, and it's delicious. And then I had the bacon. I do 5 slices of bacon per sandwich. So it was good.
Bacon.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. Well, and since you brought it up, let's talk side dishes.
I don't think I had any. I think we had chips and shit like that. Like, because it was we planned it to be our like traveling all day, throw something together, quick meal, and I wanted it specifically done so that when I knew that Robert was traveling all day, I knew it was a 5.5 hour drive, so I knew it was going to take him every bit of 9. So
you gotta stop. You got kids in the car. We took like 2-3 breaks.
How many kids do you have, Bobby?
3.
I mean,
it's a 2-hour drive, fuckface.
2.
Yeah, but
he has 2. You have 3, and
you gotta
he's
stop.
talking to you about
drive.
stopping.
Yeah, but
You don't fucking take a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old on a 6-hour drive. You gotta stop a couple times.
Well, I'll let you know how it goes.
The only
when we go to
stop you
Chicago.
needed to make, Robert, was at the DMV to get your wife a driver's license.
No, never let her drive.
So you wouldn't be crying about that shit fucking a week later.
They've got to stop for the kids.
So
you're not gonna drive to Chicago and you're not gonna stop at all.
No, we'll stop.
Oh.
But it'll probably be 2 stops.
Oh, take a piss. Get the fuck back in the car.
yeah, I'm not that. You see, here's the thing. Your pendulum is too far to the other side.
Yeah.
And my pendulum is not as far as it's not as far as you make it to the opposite side.
Sure.
My man said Robert's got a crooked dick.
The only time that I don't do the all right, we're gonna do this, get it in, is at an amusement park. That's the only time that I get that way, and then I snap out of it as soon as we have accomplished all of the big rides. And guess what, Robert? When we went to go to the amusement park, we got to ride the roller coaster like 3 or 4 times with minimal wait, and then by the time that we finished, the line was fucked. So you're welcome.
Thank you, Bobby.
And, dude, they even went slow on the roller coaster.
What?
They even went slow on the roller coaster. So this roller coaster, like I said, you can apply brakes, so you can go as fast or as slow as you'd like. The Detox family was the only family that took 13 minutes to get down the roller coaster hill.
No, first of all, I didn't.
I can picture that shit too.
I went down with Scarlett just fine. Lisa
Dude,
was
I'm
with
sitting
her
there
3-year-old.
Because I'm going next, right?
No, I went behind you.
Relax.
I can see that shit too. Bobby's going around the corner, and you just hear wee, and then here comes Robert, and you hear of the brakes grating on the fucking rails.
So I'm getting ready to go on the roller coaster ride soon, and I'm in line, but the line is like not moving at all, to a point where people are like,
"Stop the lift."
People in front of me and behind me are saying, "What's going on? What's going on?" I start seeing the attendants pacing. One of the attendants' walkie-talkie goes off, and I hear, "She left like 5 minutes ago. I'm not sure what's going on." So then he says, "I guess she's just going slow." And as soon as I heard that, I was like, "Oh my God, it's the Detox." So I'm sitting there, and like people are getting angry, like in line, like behind me. They're like, "What the fuck?" Like, geez.
No, they weren't.
Oh, dude, I was with Selena, so she probably wouldn't remember. If I was with Jane, I'd have her come in here and co-sign it. But people were getting angry, and then like I look over to the left, and I see the Detox car coming down the track, and it looks like Thomas the fucking Tank Engine. Like it's just like. And like the attendant starts yelling at them.
No, you're such a liar.
It's not. I am.
was there
May the
too.
Lord
You're
strike
full of shit.
dead. You have to let off the brake. Let off the brake.
He did do that, but he wasn't yelling at them.
What is that? You're holding everyone up. I'll work around your time. No, your time is more valuable. I've never seen a slow roller coaster ride before, but I'm going to tell you, it looks like trash.
It looked boring.
It did. Have you ever seen anybody going on a roller coaster and admiring the local flowers? Look how pretty.
It's beautiful.
Some say if the conditions are just right and the air is calm, over the squealing you can hear wee. Look at those azaleas. Wee.
Yeah, azalea. The fucking 3-year-old's in the front with her hand on her head.
That's signature move.
I learned something else about the Detox family on this trip. Neosporin on everything.
Yeah, my wife likes some fucking Neosporin.
It's like what people used to do with Robitussin.
Oh god, she got a fucking abrasion, Neosporin on it. She had the abrasion for 2 weeks. Put some Neosporin on it. I'm like, it's closed. Neosporin.
It's healed. They're just
There's
putting
nothing.
Like,
There's no scab. There's no
not
scab. There's nothing there, and she's getting Neosporin.
Azalea had a really rough day this one day. Like, she took a pool stick to the face first thing in the morning.
She got a fucking knot.
She had a knot on her head. She had a legitimate injury early in the morning. Scarlett whacked her with a pool stick by accident, and actually, and her answer to the questions was so fucking funny to me. Like, I love sitting back and listening to interactions like that. Like, I heard, I don't know if it was Lisa or Laura say, like, did you see what happened? And Scarlett said, I think she was walking past while somebody was using the pool stick, and it might have hit her in the face. Like, you know, like she's like a detective trying to put the pieces together. And then I asked Azalea, I was like, who hit you with a pool stick? And she just pointed to Scarlett.
Scarlett should have snapped that shit over her knee and been like, "There's room for aggressive expansion."
So,
did you put Neosporin on that too?
Oh, I'm sure, but
no.
But yeah, probably put it on the pool stick. So we go on this hike to these waterfalls, which were breathtaking. Like, that was my favorite part of the trip. But like, we get like 5 minutes into this hike, and Azalea takes a tumble and breaks the skin on her hand. The skin was broken. And I'm telling you, it was like
Scratch.
It was like House MD watching Detox family go to work on this hand. To a point where I was like, do you want me to call an ambulance? Because we can get one down here.
I was like, wait till we get home and we'll put some Neosporin.
I was like, we didn't bring the Neosporin.
We don't have Neosporin. I was like, we're not going home. Like, I could tell she was contemplating that.
Yeah. So Lisa went out into the woods. She's trying to make some homemade Neosporin out of some of the natural trees.
Did you explain to her that Neosporin doesn't treat lupus?
It was. I've never seen I feel like every family, like, they go on trips and you start to learn, like, shit, like, we better make sure we have this because sometimes we need this and we don't have it. Like, you learn that after like 1 or 2 trips. So like my family, like, we bring children's Tylenol, we bring Advil or ibuprofen, you know, some sort of, you know, anti-inflammatory. Like, we bring you know a couple of things. I've never seen a family so reliant upon Neosporin in my life. It's a fact.
I should have covered my head in it that next morning.
Because it wasn't. I mean, with all those holes in your eyes and nose and mouth, I'm surprised it wasn't on there every morning. It's just asking for infection.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I know.
Isn't Neosporin mostly petroleum jelly? Very little actual.
Let me say this: I know that I am not the person to ask. However, I do know the person to ask.
You have no idea how I have to deal with the Neosporin.
I'm talking about regular Neosporin, not New York Neosporin.
That's true.
We do have the best Neosporin. We didn't buy that shit.
Walgreens on 4th
and D.
4th and D. I was trying to think of an actual fucking street in New York. I couldn't think of anything. Broadway and 57th. Oh, that's a church. So there's a church, actually, if I recall correctly. There's a church.
Oh, the Dwayne Reed, yeah, the best Neosporin there.
But yeah, so yeah, that was interesting as well. And then that's it. I will tell you something.
Second Broadway.
Fucking my wife and I are finally enjoying one single moment together in a hot tub. Like, just laying there, body's completely submerged, looking up at the stars, having a peaceful moment in an embrace. And I just hear all of a sudden, "You all right over there, bubby?"
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did Robert fuck it up?
Chainsaw.
I was worried about you. It was like you were in there for like 20 minutes. I'm like, that's a long time for this guy who doesn't hot tub. He's in a 105-degree hot tub. Are they all right?
I was like,
Maybe he needs
yep.
a neck brace.
We're fine, Robert. And then I got out shortly thereafter. It was fucking ruined.
No good deed goes unpunished.
But it was beautiful. I mean, it was a beautiful place. Like I keep talking about it with Laura just because I'm kind of like amazed by it. But like I kept looking around at it, like it doesn't even seem like we're on like on Earth anymore. Like it doesn't seem like what I'm used to in terms of like living on this planet. And then like we got to talking about it. It's like because like it's the only time like I've ever looked out and not seen like some sort of residential housing or commercial area or an exit sign, a telephone pole, and
concrete.
Like I've just never seen just 100% from eye to eye like natural wilderness.
And the stars. How about those stars?
I know. Rob was like, "This is the Milky Way." I'm like, "It's always the Milky Way," but it's whatever.
You don't ever see that in the city. You can't.
No, maybe not. But I mean, anytime you see the stars, I mean,
no, you actually see the Milky Way. But listen, you know what? But Laura felt what I was saying. She's like, "I love the stars too."
I know. I love the stars. It was great. It was. I mean, it's more.
They're not fireworks, but
wait a second. Let me take you back here for a second. Are you saying you don't get the best view of the stars in the city?
No, it's really sad. Can't see shit.
So New York's not the best at anything, at everything, like you said.
Not at stargazing. Not at stargazing.
Stargate.
There's way too much light pollution.
But it was great. It was like I'd never seen anything quite like it. Like. And I don't know. It's like when you look at a drawing and you can't tell what's off, but you know something's off. It's like your eye is just used to seeing the world a certain way. And like when I looked at that, like the nature, I guess for lack of a better term, like I was like, fuck. I was like, there's nothing. Like there's no sign of man in this, in what I can see from this angle, and that is uncommon to me.
Not to imply that I need to add to what Justin said, but I thought he was going in a different direction. Robert, you said that when you see the stars, you don't see the Milky Way. You do realize that we are in the Milky Way, correct?
Yes.
That is what contains our galaxy.
Yes.
So when you see stars, you see the Milky Way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are in an area with very little light at night and you look up at the sky, see, because we are on the outer edge of the Milky Way looking in, you actually see the rest of the Milky Way because you're looking in at most of it, and what you see is a milky smudge across the sky. It looks like a cloud.
That's
the
true.
Milky Way.
Well, I mean, it's all the Milky Way.
Oh, I know that, but you actually see that thing in the
aspect
sky.
of it. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Every star in the sky is part of the Milky Way. Yes, but you actually see the larger picture in the background, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, like hearing your name called by Robert D. in a hot tub with your wife around you.
Dude, hold on. We were like 10 feet away from you, okay? If you're getting a fucking hand ski, that's creepy.
Hand ski. I like to call it. I like to call it an old fashioned.
A bubble rub.
But yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Damn, what's your name? Justin.
Yep, I'm here too.
It's been so long.
It has been.
Justin was invited. Come.
How are you doing?
That's true.
I'm well. Possibly better because I didn't go. That's all I'm saying.
No, you would have had a blast. You would have had a blast. We like
I am sure.
In the Pinkertons too. They didn't go, and neither did the Russmans. Did not.
We
go.
had a lot of fun. Bobby's making it sound horrible. We had fun.
No. I had a blast. I would do it again in a second. Had a great time. Really did.
No, it sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm here. How are you, Greg?
I don't know.
Are you better or worse after 45 minutes of Robert's story?
It was Bobby's story.
It's mostly Robert's story. I mean, it's a story about Robert. So.
Oh my god!
You know what's funny? 45 minutes of that shit, and people are still gonna be like, "What about sex with Robert?"
Sadly, I don't have any.
No, I'm good. I'm good. My wrist feels better a little bit. Thank you. That was some bullshit.
Jerker's wrist.
I was assaulted by my wife. Domestic violence. No, I'm good.
I noticed you're speaking a little quieter, so it must be true. You don't want her to come back.
Oh, she went off somewhere with her iPad and her phone and her tumbler full of ice. I think she went to the park. Go play Pokemon or something. All right, so Bobby B.
Yes, sir.
What did you get courier to you in the woods?
I honestly, I had the opportunity to look at the MMC links, and I got the DX9 Montana.
What do you think about the links?
I think it is well done. I think it's well done.
What do you think about Montana?
I think Montana's well done as well. I have more issues with Montana than I do with Lynx, but that may be just because, Montana's mine. I spent my money on it than Lynx, But I like them both, but I'm happy to have Montana in my collection, whereas I know that Lynx is not for me now.
Do Montana's knees connect with other Lego pieces, or?
I hope so. I didn't try it out, but that is true. I did. I also got Admiral Piet Black Series through BBTS, so I paid a little bit more than I would have liked to pay for it. But that I don't think I'm going to review it. But it is a fucking outstanding figure. Like the face sculpt.
He's tooling with you. That's Piet, right?
Yes. No. That's somebody from Force Awakens, or Last Jedi. Admiral Piet was the admiral that died on the bridge of the Executioner when the A-Wing went through it in Return of the Jedi.
So many admirals, it's hard to remember.
Yeah, it is. It's tricky. So there's Admiral Piet.
We saw his promotion, and then we saw his death.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's Admiral Piet, and then there's General Veers. I don't have a line, I don't think, on General Veers yet, because he's an exclusive as well, I believe.
Is General Veers the guy that's always going to the side real quick?
General Veers is the one.
Was veering.
Don't encourage him.
General Veers is, I think he's after the first one is killed, the first general, or general to admiral maybe. Yeah, I think after the first admiral is killed in Empire, General Veers gets promoted, and then General Veers is killed, and then Admiral Piet takes over. So, and General Veers is the one that went around that meme that was like, so there's General Veers. Yes, sir. You are too close to me. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but it's fucking awesome. There's a scene in Empire where Vader spins around, and him and Veers are they're uncomfortably close. You could tell the blocking is just not sorted out because of the costume of Vader, and when he turns around, they're face to face, and it's almost like a romantic moment. So somebody took out the dialogue and replaced it with General Veers. Yes, sir. You are too close to me. But yeah, so he's the one that ended up in a he's in an admiral suit, but then he has the Hoth officer armor over top of the admiral suit. So I gotta get a hold of him. But that fucking Piet is fucking great. The head sculpt, the paint, the whole shit is fucking double ball peg from head to neck. Oh, it's $20 figure. I can't believe it. I can't believe how good they're getting over there.
They're the same as figure arts at this point,
I'm not gonna go that far, but they're
yeah.
but they're so I would say this: the gap between $20 and $60 is shrinking significantly.
And are the Black Series, are they aftermarket? What do they cost?
Oh, $22, somewhere around there.
So they're still not it's not you're paying $50 for one.
No, that's what I'm saying. It used to be okay, this is a $20 figure and this is a $60 figure, and I definitely see the improvements. And now it's this is a $20 figure and this is a $60 figure, and it seems more disproportionate.
But are they? But I mean, my question. But I mean, also, it's like, is there an issue with grabbing one? Like, say a figure comes out for $20, is it hard to come by? Do they sell out quickly?
Sometimes, like they're like I've noticed. I don't know about anybody else, but like whenever I go into a store around here, it's fucking Solo, and if I'm in Target, Chewy, and there's still some Krennics floating around.
But you can get them online, though, right? I mean, you could just go to
if you pre-order them and stuff, but they do. I mean, they do sell. I mean, and a lot of times they're significantly expensive, and also like the distribution, the Hasbro distribution is so fucked up. Like Chris and Matt used to go on these like toy hunting extravaganzas, and they would send me pictures of all the Ahsokas they would find. Like just the way you find a fucking Zuvio, they found Ahsokas. I've still to this day never seen an Ahsoka in the wild. Never to this day. I have her, but I've never seen her in the wild.
Okay, let's say a $20 or $22 figure that's sold out on the e-tailers, and it's extremely hard to find in the wild, as the nerds call it, right? Mm-hmm. What would it cost if you go on eBay? For that figure.
So it depends. Right now, like sometimes they get out of control, especially at first, because Zuckuss is starting to pop up, or I guess, yeah, Zuckuss. He's starting to pop up. And he's a Disney Store exclusive. And there was one that people were just sharing recently of him going for like $87 and $18 shipping. Yeah. Which is just, wow. BANANAS.
That's a big markup. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're charging. That's crazy. I mean, Figure Arts is $60 Figure Arts. You can see, I won't even buy a Krillin, but I spent good money on Android 17 and 18, and no 18 and 19. But it's not a 400% markup for sure.
You were right.
That's crazy.
17 and 18.
17 and 18?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 16's the big green dude.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't quadruple in price. I don't think I've ever seen that. Maybe Krillin. I don't know.
And nobody really. It's the same. The Figure Art stuff. Like especially like if no one's like the exclusives, or they're not sure they're going to do a second run, like they can get pricey. Like that mall got pricey for a while, but now they're doing another mall. So
yeah, it's the same thing with like the Dragon Ball stuff. Like right now, Krillin is expensive, but if they decide, that they're gonna update his molding just like a little, that he'll be back. I'm sure he will, because they've been doing all the Z Fighters, and they're pushing the new base Dragon Ball Figure Art body, so I'm sure he's going to get an upgrade too.
Good.
Well, and you also have to take into account the people that don't jump on the pre-order for whatever reason, and then they get that FOMO. It's the figure sold out in 24 hours, and that drives up the secondary market, and those prices tend to sit for
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Black Series team in particular was Hasbro. Like in some ways, like they kind of had their finger on the pulse, and in some ways, I feel like I'm like, what the fuck are you guys thinking? Like the Solo figures are not selling, but we're getting like every fucking body. Like we're getting the droid. We're getting we got both chicks. We're getting Hando, but yes, Han and Lando. We got Chewie. We got is there anybody else? Like we're getting the forearm guy. We're getting like Woody Harrelson.
Wait,
we're like Enfys Nest. We're getting fucking now we're getting Voss or whatever his name is. Like we're getting all of them, and I still don't have a fucking two tubes. I still don't have a fucking Bodhi. Like the Rogue One crew is incomplete, and it bothers the shit out of me.
Haven't we seen a Bodhi?
No, there's a fucking diecast one, like the fucking terrible Disney Store ones.
Oh, I thought there was a Bodhi. Maybe there's a 3 3/4.
And there's a 3 3/4 as well, 5-point of articulation one. But there's no proper like either super articulated 3 3/4 or Black Series one. And no two tubes, no fucking Forrest Whitaker. Like it's so aggravating to me. Even a Galen. Like, give me a Galen too.
Hey, Bobby.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
Yesterday.
Azalea, my heart is breaking.
Your heart is fixed now. That's like your big... Guess what? Yesterday. Here, say it. Say, guess what? Now you're getting shy. Okay.
But yeah, so I don't know. That's my rant. I will say, like I don't have those same issues with the Marvel Legends line. Like, I think the Marvel Legends line is the most consistent, solid thing that Hasbro's producing right now, and the glaring holes are not as obvious. Like, there's some, but they're nowhere near as in your face as the Black Series stuff, and and then the Transformer stuff is just not on the same caliber of quality as either Black Series or Marvel Legends. So,
did you pick up Spider-Ham?
Yes, I did.
Do you hope they end up doing that Green Gobbler?
I don't care. I don't care. I'm not as married to that. And like, to be honest, I'm not. I'm more into the novelty of the Spider-Ham. Like, I would never have requested that figure, but if they're gonna make it, I'll get it. Like, I have a fair amount of characters that kind of fit in that pocket.
Oh.
I do like.
What if he comes with that last Build-A-Figure piece you need?
yeah.
Uncle Ben.
Dude, well, I'd buy an Uncle Ben in a heartbeat. I'd buy an Aunt May. Put them in a 2-pack. I'll get them both. Like, there's a lot of shit they could get my money on if they wanted it. Like, I still don't understand some choices that they make, but I mean, it's whatever. Like, that Sauron is fucking incredible. That I know. But
would you buy the 2-pack Baru and Owen skeletons?
Oh my god. Skeletons, yes, I would. I would buy it for a diorama, but I would buy a 2-pack Owen and Baru original trilogy or prequel trilogy.
What if the Build-A-Figure was a bag of sand? Take it everywhere.
$15.
If it's $15, I'm in. But it's got to have some gems that my kids can find sifting it through water.
The girls had so much fun doing that.
They loved it. They loved it. They're regular fucking archaeologists.
I hear there's kyber crystals in that there sand.
Yeah. Yeah, there was crystals in it. I mean, there was some bullshit in it. The bullshit was disproportionately high to the crystals.
There's a fucking kid walking around begging for dirt. Did you see that, Bobby?
Yeah.
Laura was like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
That's not very nice.
They didn't say it like that, but he was just like he was trying to get a hold of their dirt, and Laura's like, "We just spent $15 on this fucking dirt."
$15 dirt. Get the fuck out of here, kid.
Would you say that kid's family was dirt poor?
Ooh, well done, sir.
Speaking of things that are well done, I think this fucking intro segment's getting about fucking Robert Steakhouse.
Yeah,
Robert, did you get anything else, Bobby?
Nope, that's it. Oh, yeah, Admiral Piet, the DX9, and I had a chance to look at links. That's it.
Robert, I guess my better judgment. What did you get?
Well, Bobby kindly returned a pillow that I had left at his place at the last Skull Fest. That was very kind of him.
That's true.
And on that pillow was a Gatchaman that I had left for him to review that he won't review. He was like, no. There's a picture of his nose turned up in the air at it, stuck to it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have better things to do, Robert. I have to review Powder Prime stuff.
Look, like, there is a element of, the juice being worth the squeeze for me these days. And that one I know is not.
We did have delicious donuts. That is one thing I got. Laura went out and got some wonderful, freshly made donuts. They were delicious. And one of those donuts was this beautiful, looked like a Bavarian cream. Like, this donut was delicious. Like, it was so nice. It was sprinkled with family love and friendship and great times and memories. And I bit into it, and it turns out it was filled with disdain for my wife.
What are you talking about?
Flavored by Neosporin.
That was the icing.
Thank you, Bubby. Bobby hates my wife. It's good.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
The funny thing is, she was all nervous about it. She's like, "Do you think they don't like me?" I was like, "No, they like you." Oh my God, are they going to talk about me? I'm like, "No." I'm like, "We'll probably make fun of each other."
Yeah.
I'll never let her listen to this show.
No. I think Lisa's great. I think that I saw Lisa, like the poor girl, I saw her drop everything she was doing every time you asked her of anything to go do it. So, yeah, I don't know. Lisa's she's solid.
I don't order her around.
No, you didn't order her around, not at all. But, like, she would be working on, like, 5 things. She'd finally sit down to have a bite of something, and you'd be like, Lisa, have you seen the bug spray? That's another thing. That's another thing that Detox fan is very big on, is the bug spray. Like they're going to go to the mall. Well, dip them in the bug spray first.
We didn't go to a mall. But as I said, the donut was full of disdain for my wife, apparently.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, I didn't get shit. Except a great vacation. The kids will always remember that. That's what I love. Our kids really got along well. And you know who I love all your kids. Your kids are so awesome, right? And Scarlett and Jaina got along well. Azalea and Selena got along. And your baby just gets along with everybody.
Yeah. Dog 'em.
Yeah, but I really like Selena. Like, she's just so sweet. Like, I'm like, this kid isn't evil.
She was, and she's been sweeter recently, but like she did. I mean, on our way up, she talked about dissecting a duck, So.
Well, we had a nice conversation about French fries, and then I started calling her French fry, and I was pretending that she has a Pikachu pajamas, or is it a coat? Is it a jacket or is it pajamas?
She has both.
Okay, yeah, 'cause she was switching around. And I kept pretending that she was an actual Pikachu, and I was freaking out whenever I saw her. But she's got a great sense of humor, and she's so cute and sweet.
Yeah. Selena's everybody's favorite. Like, whenever they deal with my kids, everybody walks away talking about Selena. Like, it's her lot.
Yeah, that's it I got. That's not me. I got a great vacation. It is funny. You come out of those vacations just tired.
Okay, enough of this stuff. Justin, what did you get?
Well, I don't know if it was this week or the previous week. Actually, no. I definitely got it last week, but I don't remember. It could have been the week before. I got the KFC Strato tanker because I figure like nobody's making a what's his face Octane.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. I give up and just bought him. I got.
You have to review that.
No, that thing's a pain in the ass to get into both modes. So.
I know, but
no,
you reviewing that would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. So, I got a reissue G1 skids. So finally another one to check off the box of G1 collection. And that is it for Transformers. I did get the Spirit Halloween Proton, or not the Proton pack, the Ghost Trap and PK meter, which, I mean, they're obviously not as good as the Matty Collector stuff, but they're good enough to, bang around and not worry about damaging something that's at this point worth hundreds of dollars. So, win-win. And that's it.
Oh, all right. You can dress up Cheeks. Right. You can dress up Cheeks like a Ghostbuster and give him that stuff.
That is true.
For Halloween.
Greg, what'd you get this week?
All right. I'm going to need you guys to sit down.
Swing in for the fences.
Wheel your chairs all the way back to the fences. I got a fucking Baldwin drop.
Uh-oh.
I got 2 sheets. Repro-label faction symbols.
I thought you meant you bought bedding.
Hold on. And I got the cel-shaded window stickers for Grapple and Inferno.
How do you like them?
They're not bad. They stick pretty well. The air bubbles came out really easily, which has been a problem with repro labels that I've had the last few sets I bought. I took a popsicle stick, popsicle hack number 4,321. I took the rounded edge and I used the rounded side, obviously, and Went back and forth. All the air bubbles came out, and they seemed to stick pretty well, and they look pretty cool.
Nice.
If they made it, well, no, because I've got paint issues on mine. If they made a set for Prowl, I would cancel the Prowl Plus. But there's a couple other things on the Prowl Plus I like, but they're not bad. And well, because they have like the super sale. I think I pay like $3 for both sets because they come on one sheet. So yeah, I can't complain.
Good.
Yeah, and that's all I got.
Man, remember when repro labels, it was like it was so hot, everybody was like just on it, you know? Man.
Yeah, it has changed. I think that has a lot to do with the hypertoon look, you know, that like has kind of become the vogue thing. So
the cell shading is cool. That's a cool angle to go.
Agreed. It's funny that like, you know, just how dry this fucking year has been.
For me personally, the problem with repro labels became the fact that they just like stopped sticking. Like, I don't know, that annoyed the shit out of me. I'm like, I can't buy any more of these things.
Especially anything that went on a round, you know, a round area.
Yeah.
Would you say that was Would you say it was coincidental to their release of the sticker fixer adhesive tube?
Yeah, I know, right? Which you can't get ever. Like, they never had that every time. So.
And when you do get it, it sticks so good, you got to cut the tip off, so it's basically Elmer's glue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was always the one thing that really got on my nerves with repro labels, and is why I kind of stopped buying them. I couldn't take like coming back like, well, that shit's falling off. Like, time to go ahead and get some glue on that to stick it down. Like, it's just annoying. So.
Oh, I don't think I mentioned I got the MMC Helion, the red guy, the cliff jumper. I'm not sure if I said that last week. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you did.
How's that garbage?
Is that the one you said was a gappy mess?
All right,
Robert?
He wants to talk the whole fucking show, but when you ask him a question, he doesn't respond.
If I recall correctly, he said the vehicle mode was a gappy mess.
I think that's how the joke goes.
I don't think he was 100% satisfied with it. But I mean, that thing is problematic at best.
Right, garbage.
Hello?
Azalea.
Oh, it looks like you got a cat, huh?
Hello? Can you hear me? I don't know if I'm mute or not.
There's a one-eyed hamster guinea pig walking around with a fucking watch on going, or whatever the fuck hamsters say.
I'm pretty sure it's
close enough.
His name was Mr. Lee from the Chinese restaurant, dropping off my dim sum.
All right,
anyway,
so we should move on.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with MMC. Like, their reformatted stuff seems to be pretty decent. Like, at least in my experience. But their Ocular Max stuff and arguably 50% of their remix stuff has been pretty garbage. So, like, I'm not inclined to buy an MP-style figure from them, which is why I opted to get that Unique Toys Bruticus instead of waiting for the Ocular Max. And then down the line, hopefully somebody like, God, I hate to say it, Fans Toys, or XTransbots will make one that might be a little better. But we haven't seen the fruition of the XTransbots combiner. But I mean, it's pretty universally, at least the one that's out now. And feedback for the next one has been really good. So
yeah, I think that I'm gonna part out that fucking MMC Combaticon set for the foreseeable future, and replace the pieces on the Unique Toys one that I'm not satisfied with, and then that Zeta one's supposedly shipping next week. So that's one of the pieces I've been most excited about all year. So I hope that one pays off.
The Zeta Brutic,
the
Bruticus.
Onslaught, yeah. So, and then I'm gonna do a whole custom tutorial vid on it. And
if MMC came out with Constructicons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, and it was smaller than Constructor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would you? And it was a perfect transformation, no parts forming whatsoever. What's the interest? Unless you're just a Constructicon fanatic, right?
How do the bots look?
Let's say they look great.
100%.
You'd still get it even though you have the ToyWorld.
Yeah, because I want a bot set.
Well, that's good then.
I don't have a bot set.
I mean,
I can say with 100% certainty that if MMC made an all-inclusive Constructicon set, the bot modes would not look good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that I think that they suffer for that. You know, I think that the bots look like the Vortex looks good to me. It doesn't look great, but it looks good. It definitely looks good enough for me. But I think it could look great if they had a plug-in hand for it.
I think it was a mistake to do the Combaticons now. Now that Zeta's got the giant Combaticon set coming out to scale with Constructor, there's so many other combiners they can.
And Unique Toys has a set. You know, like it is a little bit of sand to the beach, but like Stunicons are covered. Like Defensor is the one that they've kind of had planned forever, and that's the one that's wide open.
Yeah, that's the one that nobody seems to really tackle. I don't know.
I mean, Generation Toy is doing it, right? But
yeah, but I mean, to me, well,
it's a whole different angle.
First off, are they really doing it? Because the first one's been out for like a year now, and we haven't seen anything else. But the second thing is like, there's so much room for an actual like more G1 styled version. Like, well, it doesn't need to be a comic version. Like, go ahead and make it, G1. People will snap it up.
And there's like, I think a lot of people have kind of committed to it seems like, I could be way off base, but it just seems like from talking to people that a lot of people are kind of into the idea of having a bot set and a combined set, and sometimes even an alt mode set. Mm-hmm. So like, I think if they were to do a set of protected bots, regardless of how they fit in scale wise, like if they're a few centimeters off this way or that way, I think that most people would go in on it because they'd find a place for it somehow.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not in charge of their business.
Yes, he is.
Just their box art. That's all that I take part in. Yeah.
We all good?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I just made a transition back from the phone to the... So, I thought that would fuck something up. No. It's funny you mentioned box art, because before things got all haywire, I actually had thought out some intros for everybody to harken back to the days of Oscar and J-Boy.
Yep.
Bobby's would have gone something like the man, the myth, the legend. If you own a Fans Toys figure, you probably own a little piece of his soul in the box art.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that didn't come to be.
Should we get into some news? We're at an hour in, aren't we?
Yep. 13 minutes.
All right, let's see what's going on. Hold on, I get this back up because it just fucked my phone all up. Oh man, this news. All right, we're gonna have to roll through this news because there's a lot of shit on the plate here. ToyWorld TW-FS01. It's their version of a World War II Jeep Bumblebee that we've only briefly seen in one movie, and supposedly we'll see again in another movie. And this seems really weird. Oh no, wait, whoa, never mind. I take this back. It's something different. I'm sorry.
Right.
This is that tank from the last night. This is the thing we all thought was going to be Warpath, and ended up being some crotchety old man named Bulldog.
It looks a little bit like a Land Raider from 40K to those in the know.
I love the concept art. Look at picture 13.
Yeah, they really. Maybe they should have me do the box art.
Mm-hmm.
That is trash. Oh god! And the picture before, they're both picture 13. Like the pictures are so bad, they just named them both 13. And on the one on the left, he's shooting his gun, and it's like pew 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 pew.
Yeah, it's pretty garbage.
Well, for what you know, Marktron says, "I need this now. Shut up and take my money."
There you go.
Did he have a Scrooge McDuck meme? Let's see. No.
Is this sizing up to the Studio series or to the MP? Like, what's their angle here? I can't tell from this picture. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, it looks like Studio series.
Okay.
Picture 8.
Yeah.
I do, and for my little gaffe there a second ago, I seem to remember seeing a third-party company was working on a Bumblebee as well.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find that anywhere when I went back to look. I think it just popped up randomly, like a Weeaboo share on Facebook, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, wow. I'm so in on this.
I mean, it's pretty impressive engineering. I guess.
Love this fucking head sculpt. Dude, that shit's awesome.
You know, like those treads have to. Are those the same treads, or like it doesn't seem like the tank seems like bulky and brickish, but the figure doesn't really. You know, so all that shit's got to go somewhere, I guess.
On the bottom.
It's probably a big ass shield that he's not holding.
Well, I mean, let's look at picture number 4. Let's break it down.
All right.
So basically, what we have is from that little compact tank mode, we are getting a robot with Bone Crusher's legs, who looks like Joseph Stalin, defending the Time Stone. Yet, ironically, has Thanos' chin.
Yeah, that's the Chinese symbol for
he's
big.
doing it all with toothpicks for arms.
That's the Chinese symbol for big behind him.
Are you talking shit?
No, it is.
Interesting.
All
right. Who's in on this?
Me. Oh, that just
I'll
that
take
head.
20 of them.
It's got those high robotic cheekbones and that curly robotic mustache. I
hope these come out by November, because this will make. I hope this comes out by November, because these will make great stocking stuffers for the little ones.
I suppose we'll have to wait till next year to see him in the Black Friday clearance sale.
It's going to be on clearance before it's even released. Clearance pre-order.
Speaking of stuff that Robert talked shit about that actually turned out to be pretty good when it finally came out, XTransbots Legends size G1 Sideswipe.
What?
Because you talk shit about their Stunticon, and you made all these jokes, and it came out being really solid.
I worry a little bit about this this particular Sideswipe. I don't think it looks very good. I mean, it's obviously just prototype and everything like that, so maybe it'll turn out better, but at least right now, like, I don't know, it lacks all kind of detail to me. Like, the chest is too long, you know? Like,
yes,
it's very
proportions
strange.
are off.
Yeah.
Like, if
this
you look
says
at
renders, so...
If you look at where his arms end up and shit, like, it's interesting. I was just thinking about that as you were saying it, Justin. Like, I feel like if this would have came out, 2 years ago, it'd have been like, holy shit, looks amazing. But like the Legends have come so far,
and
that now it's like, something else will pop up.
Yeah.
It
makes me
like
wonder.
now they're.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robert.
No, I was just gonna say it looks like the big boys are trying to jump in the Legends game now. It's
I imagine it's very lucrative, and I imagine it's lucrative because of price point.
Yeah, it's low production cost, low production effort too. I mean, it's not the same thing as designing a masterpiece styled figure, lower parts count, all that stuff. But like at the same time, like I wish that XTransbots would just stick with the other things they're doing. Like, don't jump into too many things at once, because like then nothing ever gets completed. So I kind of stay where you
look. This might be nicely articulated though, because look at those shoulders. Looks like it's got butterfly joints. The joints aren't. It's not like we saw a figure recently. Was it the Wheeljack, the ToyWorld Wheeljack, that was all ball joints and gaps? This has none of that. This might be a sleeper. I mean, because you see those shoulders. Maybe there's an ab crunch there, and that might explain that weird crotch. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. You're right about the proportions. I like the head. We'll see, right?
Did Geonimus Prime join Hunter?
I'm not hating it, but Magic Square is coming out. Magic Square ooh, I don't know. Look at the third photo down. From the back view, it's like a 3/4 rear view.
It's empty.
He's hot. Yeah, he's an empty souled man.
Oh, these are renders. There's plenty of time to make
Fill it up.
some stuff. Or whatever.
Yeah, like I think this looks good, but I think it looks good 2 years ago. I think it looks kind of average, mediocre now, just because of how far the Legends game has come, which is interesting.
All right.
All right.
Magic Square really changed the game.
Robert, how many holes do you think are left in the... No, never mind.
Bobby, stop. I'm good at that at some point.
Bitch. No hole that can't be filled with some Neosporin, Bobby.
So, speaking of mediocre, can we get off of this bullshit and move on to Hasbro stuff, please?
Oh, yeah.
That alt mode looks nice, though.
I agree.
Sorry.
I agree.
Let me see.
All right.
Justin's like, I'll be the judge.
Yeah, Justin definitely will be the judge of that.
It's fine.
I mean, for a Legends, right?
The wheels look weird to me. Something about the wheels. Maybe it's the low profile tires on the Lambo. I don't know. Looks weird to me. It's an '80s car. I mean, we really.
No, I'm laughing. I'm laughing at some of the toys. In the
I'm qualifying my statement to someone like, well, you could put low profile tires on, but like it's an '80s car. Low profile tires really weren't a thing so much till much later. All right, let's move on.
All right.
All right. Moving on to the fucking meat potatoes of the show. We got Hasbro news. There's a Studio Series Sideswipe Barricade Crankcase and Bumblebee Jeep revealed.
All right, so let's talk about each one of these.
And I put two just for the sake. I put what it actually looks like in glass, and then I put what it looks like in a promo shot. And full disclosure, I didn't look at the promo shots yet, so we'll see how those look.
I think the Jeep Bumblebee looks fine. I do. I think it looks fine. I think it looks probably just like it's supposed to.
How are you going to drive in that thing, Bobby?
It's not my cup of tea.
It's got no windows.
They're like, look, you need to sit right next to the huge barrel that runs through it.
Well, you'd probably look through those slits in the armor plating.
Yeah. You got to stick your head out the window.
No, I mean it's got crates there to see through. But I think that it looks fine. I think it looks fine. I think the Sideswipe looks very impressive for a Marvel. I'm looking at the sign below it. A Transformers Hasbro retail release.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
How about the Barricade?
Well, then there's Barricade, which always looks like a piece of shit. Like, it just is the dumbest fucking thing ever.
I think you caught him stealing cookies or something.
It's really weird to me that Barricade is always like the odd man out, because like I feel like his original toy wasn't that bad, and then it's like, well, here's a new one, and you're like, it's kind of shit.
It looks so terrible.
Yeah, it's weird.
And none of these Barricade releases have had the little frenzy-ish. Yeah. Well, I'm hesitant to call him frenzy because I think calling that thing frenzy is worse than calling Rumble frenzy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
For anyone following at home, frenzy's the red one, not the blue one. But
that's a fact.
That's a fucking fact. Oh Lord.
That's a little tip for all YouTubers that are looking to up their comments. Just make that a declarative statement, and you will get comments.
Hey Bobby, look at picture number 4. Look at his back. You know what those are?
What's that?
Fireworks.
This I don't think looks good either. Like like I remember this is the things. There were like 3 or 4 of them.
There were 3 on the bridge.
Yeah, like I remember those designs, and like the only thing that cues me in that this is the orange stripes coming off of it.
So my question with this, doesn't this one already exist? Like, isn't it already out in a different color? I thought it is, like a gray version, and like it's pretty universally hated. Maybe the reason this is coming out is like, we're gonna do it in black too. I feel like Matt did a review of this one.
There were 3 of them. There was Crowbar, Crankcase, and Hatchet.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw some photos.
There's a regular deluxe version of it, and then it looks like this one, there is a version of this one out, and that's Crowbar. and this is crankcase, and then this is just like a slight retool with different colors.
Yeah, and the thing that drives me crazy is like the dreads too. Like they just stick straight up. Like you didn't even do anything with them. Like they should at least be like wires so you can move them around and make them look cool. But no, they're just cast piece of plastic that stick straight up and down.
And they weren't orange, were they?
No,
I'm not clicking on the promo pictures, but I'm gonna stick my neck out there for Hasbro. I think since these are probably hand-painted prototypes, that might have something to do with the stiffness of them.
Maybe.
I'm probably wrong, but I'm just being devil's advocate here because Matt's not here. Yeah.
I don't think so. Hold on.
It's just cast plastic.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna paint it, and I'll tell you why. Only because I think that they're probably a softer plastic, and they never paint that kind of stuff because it'll all chip off. But like, I appreciate where you're coming from with that. I think that it's just like I don't know why they had that. So my guess is they just had to fill the sprue. They were gonna make them orange hands and then give them some orange guns and then give these fucking things on just to fill up the sprue. But like, why even do that? Does he need? I feel like it's. I don't know if his hands are orange in the movie. I don't know. But let's say that they were. I feel like it's more forgivable to have black hands on this, and then black, the piping or whatever, than to have gone this route.
Yeah, I feel like they did the like gold to make it like more maybe visually interesting, but like it doesn't look interesting. It looks mismatched,
Robert, I do need you to Photoshop a cookie in this barricade's hands, like a giant cookie. Like, it looks so fucking stupid.
It's like a food theme because this Predator bot.
This is the dumbest thing I've seen all day.
The barricade?
Yeah.
He's like, like you put the lights on in the kitchen because you heard a noise.
It's like, and he's like, he froze mid-step, like, huh?
Yeah. That was like you with that ice cream. That was you going for the ice cream.
Whoa, wait, what?
That was you going for the ice cream.
He's hitting him with.
Robert.
Huh?
I'm sorry, Robert. I was just going to give Robert a professional note.
Yeah.
As an aside.
Yes. Greg?
I don't mind you doing funny voices and telling.
Thanks for that note.
But I think that he's just kind of.
I wasn't jiggling my stick because that's how you go to hell. Kid said yes, I was. That's why I didn't have a hand on the Xbox controller. Your funny voices and your jokes and stuff, like I think you're off to a good start, but you need to mix the voices up. You can't use that same voice for every
What voice? That was just my voice.
No, when you're like, "It's a Cookie Monster. I got fancy toys. Mind wipe." You gotta mix it up a little bit. You need to work on some characters. Like I think you'd be pretty good at doing characters.
I don't do a funny voice. That's just me.
I think.
Oh my God! Jesus have mercy on our souls.
This barricade looks so bad.
I would have put a chocolate chip cookie in his hand.
It's my favorite thing about the show so far, only because of just how bad it is. Like,
well, you know how he got his name. You know how he got his name, right? He just lays his arms down. That's his barricade. Little chicken legs. He's Starscream's half brother.
I quite enjoy. There's like these while we were on vacation. There was these like metal trash cans, like planted in front of everyone's house where you put your trash bags. Like not your typical. I mean, they look like small dumpsters.
Ours look like it had bear scratches on it.
Yeah, and they do this because there's so many bears around there, and on the name brand of them is the Bear-acade. And I was like, I'm liking.
You're like dad jokes.
Yeah, I love that shit.
You put on your fucking Marlboro hat and your Pepsi t-shirt.
I got Joe. I got Joe recently. I was like, dude, you're never gonna believe what I learned at Deep Creek. And he was like, what? And I was like, well, turns out they had a whole bunch of like fish bitings from this large fish in the lake. And like it happened at the beginning of the year and numerous people got bit, and like, obviously it wasn't life threatening or anything, but like, a lot of people were bit by this fucking fish. Well, they ended up finding the fish they thought it was, and they put him like in the local aquarium, like in a cage, like an aquarium cage. And I just let it sit, and he was like, and then? And I was like, yeah, man, it's crazy. Turns out he was guilty.
Oh,
You're
and then
fucking stupid. That shit's funny.
and then I hit him with the husky smile, and then he's like, "God damn, you son of a bitch!"
You can't lay it down with a husky smile at the end.
But yeah, this barricade is fucking ridiculous.
I found some more pictures of these things that like they were taken with Vaseline on the lens, and it's not even better.
But I'll tell you, I honestly think the Sideswipe looks impressive, like for a retail figure. Like,
yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of yawning,
damn, I'm good. What? That's like one line in the whole movie.
No, probably. I don't.
He cut what's his fucking half, like other unnamed Decepticon. He's like, damn, I'm good.
Hey, Greg. Can I ask you a question? What movie is this line? What movie is this line from? My man.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, produced by Platinum Dunes Entertainment.
That's
Justice League.
You're both correct. What TV show is it from?
My man.
Pretty much every 70s blaxploitation TV show that ever existed.
That's correct, but it was also in Netflix Punisher.
Oh God.
Oh, man, I watched Kit and I watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Again because it was on HBO, and we just turned the TV on and we watched it. And man, Ezra Miller was so much better, like having a non-speaking role as that fucking demon ghost thing than he was the Flash. No, actually, I take that back. I kind of liked him as the Flash.
Yeah, I kind of liked him as the Flash too.
I still need to finish that movie.
Oh, Dad, I'll come visit you in jail. I'll bring the for you.
My advice, I like all that. My advice to you, Greg, would be not to finish it because all the best parts are in the first half.
Oh yeah, I'm up to where they're surfing on. I think I'm up to where they're in that sewer. I think they're in a sewer, right?
Yeah. That's when Aquaman joins the team.
Yeah.
There is a decent joke after that I think you'll dig, but it gets very Josie after that.
I like when Aquaman shows up on the roof. And then they all disappear, and Flash is just like, that's pretty annoying. And he fucking disappears. Like, I thought that was... Or was that the first time on the roof, or the second time? I can't remember.
I never fought anyone before. Yeah. All I ever do is push people. Yes, at Rosh Hashanah on Monday.
Oh, you know what? I take it back. I think I did finish it when Kit was out of town, and I was pretty inebriated. Because didn't Superman and Flash race at the end or something?
Yes. Which I'm okay.
Okay. I did finish it. I just forgot about it until now. Repressed memory.
My mother says that I'm the fastest man in the world.
What's your mother's name?
Reverse Flash murdered my mother. Thanks for reminding me.
Martha Flash.
Dude, that Martha shit, I still don't understand why that shit is a joke. Like, I don't get it.
I don't not get it.
Now that I understand. That should have been a joke. That's fucking terrible. But nobody ever talks about that.
I watched the Lego Flash movie.
I've never seen that. Is it good? I
can't remember what it was called. They were spamming the shit out of it on Cartoon Network. It was pretty entertaining. Yeah. It's like, it's a Speed Force. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was funny. I mean, it was cheesy. It's obviously
right.
But I liked it. He was like, "How do you beat the Speed Force?" It's like, it's coming back to me. Oh, Batman was right. I have to slow down. Like, it was just stuff. Like, I just love those Lego movies. They're really
yeah, they're great.
I can't remember what it's called. It wouldn't call it like Flashpoint or something like that. But yeah, it was pretty good.
I have you know, Greg, I read 2 Marvel books while on vacation and loved them.
Which ones?
Hawkeye. Yes,
I can tell you. Hold on one second.
Stole his thunder.
Oh, I feel like there's a setup coming up. I need a drink.
No, there's absolutely no setup. He just read the comics. He read the graphic novels.
The graphic novels.
The graphic. He's just
for adults.
He sits there with his legs crossed, like knee over knee. You know.
Yeah, with a blanket in his lap, and his sun hat on.
Fucking blanket, but
on the edge of the water.
It was a blanket of like my Dinobot print.
Yeah, it was one of his blankets too, with a fucking price sign hanging off of it, with a business card stapled to it.
So it's Matt Fraction wrote it, and seems like there was a number of different artists, but yeah, I would just call it Matt Fraction's run on Hawkeye. There's 2 volumes hardback. They're on loan to me from Paul C via Chris Pinkerton, but they were fucking great, and I'd put them off. He had let me hold, what was it? It was the 3-volume Spider-Man books where Doc Ock and him switch brains. Invincible,
oh yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah,
that
Superior.
was fucking stupid. And then fucking.
Oh, I liked it. I enjoyed that.
I'm glad, and I mean that sincerely. And then he let me hold an Invincible Iron Man book that ended up being fucking poorly put together.
I heard about that one.
Yeah, but and I'd read both of those. I read Spider-Man first, and then the Invincible Iron Man, and then I was like, I guess I'll read the Hawkeye as well. And the Hawkeye is fucking great. Never judge a book by its cover or by its powerless superhero.
Looked like it was the Target trademark symbol all over the cover.
Yeah. Yep.
Two things, just real quick.
I just got it. Target.
I don't care much for Paul C's people, but he's one of the good ones.
What?
Yeah, fucking Illinois people are fucking obnoxious.
I knew that was a
second.
setup.
I liked the Superior Spider-Man only because like that I read that in the middle of when I just like binge Spider-Man.
I remember
it
that.
Was starting to feel like more of the same. Like I love Spider-Man, but it was just like Spider-Man. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it was a nice breakup from like the normal Spider monotony. Like there weren't any clones. Well, I mean, technically, I guess there is a clone at some point, but like it was just like fucking completely wacky and off the wall.
I loved the one moment I loved in it, which I did love, was when Green Goblin, spoilers for anybody that hasn't read it and doesn't plans to, Green Goblin corners Spider-Man at the end and like throws some line at him about how he's, trash and this and that, and then Spider-Man and Green Goblin knows that it's Octavius, and then Spider-Man says, "Yeah, but always had the dignity of knowing I never wore a man purse." And then it's like a close up on Goblin's face, and he's like, "It's you." Like I love that. Like just that one little fucking punchline keys him into, oh shit, Parker's back. Like I love that moment, but I didn't enjoy the book overall. I just was like, this is fucking stupid.
For me, it was, this is silly, and it was a welcome breath of fresh air at that point. Because I was also binging Batman and like 2 other books, and like 3 of the 4 were like super dark. Well, 2 were dark, 1 was kind of dark, and 1 just kind of got monotonous. And then all of a sudden, I got that little breath of fresh air, and I was like, oh, this is wacky.
Bobby loved that Hawkeye, though. He loved it. At one point, he was like, "Laura, come look,
Hawkeye.
Just look at these frames, just on these pages.
Firework arrows.
But Laura, look at the Hawkeye. Look."
But it was good. I highly recommend it to anyone who enjoys comics. Like it reminds me of a lot of work that Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale have done together throughout the years. Like it's moody, it has a vibe.
I don't know how he loved it so much he could cross his legs knee over knee. I don't even know how you do that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did it remind you of J. Michael Straczynski?
J. Michael's. Which book are we talking about?
Oh, I don't know. That just his name just popped in my head randomly for some reason when you were naming off all these different comic people. What was the second book you read? Or were they both Hawkeye?
No, yeah, they were both Hawkeye. It was volume 1 and volume 2.
Let's sigh. As a kid said.
Let's sigh.
But yeah, I just haven't read. I haven't read a like superhero quote unquote book that was really engaging in a long time, and like it grabbed me. It grabbed me by the gut. So it was nice.
I was really into like the last couple of Batman runs up until that wedding shit, and like that shit was so predictable as to how it was going to go down, and then that whole like controversy about it being spoiled. Like it just, I just had no interest in it. I haven't picked up an issue since the finale of that story arc. The Darth Vader Marvel book, the current run is the last run was really good, and this one's really good too. Same for the Dr. Aphra. Those are the only Marvel books I'm really reading, are those two Star Wars ones. Yeah, I don't really have a comic that's really grabbing me right now. Like, it's kind of more of like maintenance work, like keeping up with the story. Outside of the Star Wars books, those are good.
Like, I've read some really good stuff, but they've all been like Image stuff or like non-tights and flights. Like, I shout out to Raul. He bought me a Outcast book, and I ended up like I couldn't put it down. I had to get I bought all the volumes as soon as I read the first one. They have a Showtime show, I think, about it now. And Saga is fucking incredible, and like shit like that. But like I'm yearning for like a good superhero story. But like the last bunch that I've bought have kind of been meh. Like
I wish I knew that was Paul Chu's book.
Why?
Paul, those are not my pubes.
Or your tomato sauce.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there, Bobby.
How was your tomato sauce? How was it, Bobby?
It was good. I'll tell you. So when I saw it hit the table, I was like, "Ooh, this is too chunky for me," because I don't enjoy a super chunky tomato sauce.
I saw the sauce in action. I saw it being cooked.
Yeah,
I saw videos of it.
I was like, there's too many moving pieces here. But I was like, you know what? You're an adult. He worked very hard on this. You got to give it a go. And what I found interesting was usually my hang up with chunky sauce is texture, like the crunch of different textures while you're eating and such. And all of it was cooked to a point where it was just like, the phrase "it melted in your mouth," but that's kind of how it was. It all had the consistency of just a sauce, not multiple components in a sauce, and it was flavorful, so it was good. I enjoyed it.
You should have blended it a little bit, but
Yeah.
How was the salt content of it?
It had a cinnamon flavor.
No.
Because he was sweating over that pot of sauce all fucking day, worried about.
His wife said it tastes like an old Italian grandmother wept over it, so I thought maybe that was it.
Yeah, it was salt. It was salt from his fucking sweat. Did he leave the sausage and shit whole?
Yeah.
Yes, the sausage was whole.
Oh my god.
What?
Which was fine because then I could just put one sausage on my plate and I cut it up, and then I could kind of control my portion of it, which was actually welcomed. But my only beef with it, so to speak, was I like to sop up the sauce with the bread at the end.
Oh, that bread sucked.
But the bread was trash.
That was shit bread. I hated it.
And the sauce, like the sauce itself, like the liquid of the sauce was kind of thin. Like it definitely relied on the chunkiness, so like it didn't make for good,
sopping.
No, the bread was like from fucking pre-made garlic bread from Whole Foods, and it was like on a fucking French bread. I hated it. It was like fake butter. I was miserable. I should have just done it myself.
Did they fly that out to you in the woods on a drone?
No, I'm cooking. No. It's very frustrating.
The bread?
You know who loved the meatballs? Little Bibi. Bibi loved
That's
the
true.
meatballs. She requested meatballs like 2 other meals. She's like, meatball, Bibi, meatball.
Well, in the Skullface house, you're lucky if you get a piece of beef. So
she's like,
she probably was super excited to actually try it for once.
Yeah. But yeah, we can move on to this double cross thing.
No, we have to. Do we really have to, though? I mean, honestly, can we just call the show? Can we move on to questions instead?
Yes, punch, counterpunch, fuck them. Okay.
I think. Look. I think, given the confines of what Hasbro does, this is a pretty decent attempt.
I keep hearing that, but I just don't see it.
Like, the alterations that you can do with the shoulder pads, the little extra love they gave the hands. Like,
something there.
there is something there. It's not just, typical junk. Like,
you're junk.
Atypical junk.
Like there is like I tell you what, those bottom legs look a little religious, if you know what I'm saying. But I think they tried. I really do.
Oh, we're giving participation trophies now, Bubby.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. But it's not just it's not. I guess it's a step above participation trophy. Is what I'm getting.
Oh my God, how they tried.
I got those kids upset in the pool. They wanted to do a handstand competition, and I was judging them fairly, and I thought they expected me to be all loosey-goosey with the grading. And I wasn't.
I thought this story was going to go a completely different way.
They got no participation trophies from me. I was like, you get a 2 and you get nothing.
Yeah. But I don't know. Do you think that this is just a participation trophy situation?
No, it's decent for what it is. There's even paint on the wheels. So, hey, you know what? You fucking put paint on your wheels, you get something from me.
Yeah. You don't think they ripped off this design from Make Toys?
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't have the Make Toys.
From their what was his name? Point Blank?
I wouldn't know. I mean, does the original character have those shoulders?
Is there someone alleging that?
No. I was being sarcastic because we're looking at a TFW thread. But I could see it happening.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's crazy. I could believe it, but
If Hasbro was smart, they would KO every good third-party figure out there and just give them the middle finger. They could.
If Hasbro was smart, they'd be putting out better figures than the third-party figures out there. But
that's what they would do. They'd have to KO it.
Well, I think that there's hope in that Studio Series line. I just don't know why they're dedicating it solely to fucking movie shit.
Well, and at this point, I think so many people have moved on past like retail deluxes and Voyagers for the most part. Like, I think it's a little too late. I mean, if they're trying to snare the adult collector, as it were, as they claim.
The dumbest thing is his name, Prima Prime. That's horrible.
Prima Prime.
Prima Prime. Powder Prime. Prima Prime.
Yeah, but this, I don't know. I don't know. Kudos. Cheers for them. It's just, I don't know, man. They tried, but
it looks like
it's fine.
It almost looked like Transformers Prime Rumble.
I'm debating if I want to. So I pre-ordered this because I like Punch Counterpunch, but I really don't need this one. Like, the collector's one is, in my opinion, it's a better representation of the character for me. Not that it fits in my MP shelf in any meaningful way, but like, he's so popular of a character that I'm like, maybe I should just keep it and just hope that someday someone's like, hey, I need Punch Counterpunch. I'm like, hey, I got one I want to sell. So I'm gonna decide.
I think the Decepticon version works better than the Autobot version.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure why they had to give him a driver and a flyer, but overall, and a primer, but and a combiner, yeah. I mean, whatever. If you're excited, then I'm excited for you.
Did Missy Elliott design this thing in her first verse?
Tell me the punchline to that.
Well, is it worth it? Let me work it. Put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
All right.
So, what do we got? Questions?
I guess we're gonna call them
that. Do you want to go for it?
Yeah, I can. Let's buck tradition.
All right, do it.
Let's buck tradition.
Let's fuck tradition.
That's not the same. Dearest, dears on the SU crew. This week's topic is another get to know the SU guys question.
Ooh, I think we just came up with a little song.
Growing up, gym class always felt like an odd collection of activities. Wait, what was it? Growing Pain. What was the one where the Fred Savage show where the guy narrated it? Was it Growing Pains?
No.
And he's talking about high school. And he's like, growing up, gym class always felt like an odd collection of activities, some of which I loved and some of which I hated. I always thought everyone experienced a similar assortment of good and evil. But then I recently got to talking to friends about it and learned that my life was super fucked up as a kid. Also, every school treated gym a little differently. For example, one of my friends mentioned taking line dance lessons. Okay. While another mentioned cargo nets, karate, and a couple of other oddities I'm not sure of. If your friend was Chuck Norris, that sounds awesome. Anyway, I was wondering about your experiences, guys. I added the guys in there just for flow. What was your favorite gym class activity, and what was the one you hated the most? Respectfully yours, MP Collector.
My thing with this is, so I had this. We had this thing that we used to do in my elementary school gym around Halloween, and it was like an obstacle course, and what's the jokes? It's a fucking Halloween obstacle course. Where's the fucking punchline there?
I just pictured you dressed like Pinky or Clyde or something. Pac-Man chasing you. I don't know.
So, the gym teacher, Mr. Palmer, which is funny. You know what's fucked up? My gym teacher in middle school was Mr. Fister. So I had Mr. Palmer and then Mr. Fister. And then I don't remember my high school one, but he was a piece of work also. But anyway, it was Halloween and there was like all these fun obstacles to do, and then in the middle of the gym was like 8 basketballs that were in hoops, like not hoops, but like rings, so they wouldn't roll. And you had to go through the obstacles and then tap all 10 or 8 of the basketballs, and that's how you completed it. But he would dress up as a scarecrow and sit in the middle of the ring of balls, so to speak.
His nuts out.
And what are you talking about? And then he would chase you around, and if he tagged you, you had to start over. And then they would, and the lights were off in the gym, and he had like Halloween lighting in there, so it was like purple lights and oranges lights.
It's just sounding worse and worse.
And let me give like a tag, like and the music was playing, like that song was like HALLOWWE.
Oh God, I remember that song.
Yeah. So like that would play in the background, and like it was something I look forward to.
My dick in your ass.
Why are you going crazy?
Now was this Mr. Fister, Mr. Palmer, or Mr. Sodomy?
This was Mr.
One of your gym teachers.
This was Mr. Palmer.
Mr. Bite the Pillow.
This was Mr. Palmer. He was great. But yeah, that was the thing I look forward to most annually.
Annually?
Oh God.
I loved it.
All right.
Anybody else?
Okay, so gym class for me was not my favorite activity. It was fine in like elementary school. In middle school, it was fine. Like, we just played games and had fun. We jumped rope. We ran around with flags and shit. Like, it was fine. High school, I had a weird...
What are you, in North Korea?
Yes. No, they did those ribbon flag things. We did the ribbon runarounds and exercises.
Twirling a freaking ribbon?
Well, the best ribbons come from New York, Robert. So high school was weird because I started high school in a different city, and then I went back to my hometown, and then I went back to the city. It was my freshman year of high school was a fucked up time in my life, between my parents and my sisters in custody and blah 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 blah. So I say that to say this: gym was pretty fun in Durham, North Carolina. But back in my hometown, it was fucking horrible. It was just fucking running for an hour in the humidity and the coastal fucking environment in July, and it sucked. Well, not July, I guess, but like August. But gym class and health were intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
And because I miss health class in Durham, But when I went to my hometown, they were on a block schedule. So half the year, you had 1 semester of gym, 1 semester of health. So I ended up having to retake both classes because of the way it was broken up, and my credits didn't work out. So when I went back to Durham, the teacher understood I had to retake all the like I'd basically retaken the curriculum for both 4 times, and he didn't think it was fair I had to do it again just because the credits didn't match up. So I was his assistant. I got to give makeup tests and makeup drills and things like that. And you think you're a 15-year-old kid, you got some responsibility, you're helping out the teacher, like you're gonna take it seriously, you're gonna put your best foot forward. It's a responsibility, right? You're responsible for your peers' education, right?
I would assume. Yeah,
so I used to drop a bunch of acid and give tests and have them run drills in gym unsupervised. And that was my favorite activity in gym class. I earned it. God damn it. I didn't do anything too stupid, but it was just funny. They'd be running and running and running, and I was supposed to blow the whistle and tell them when to stop. And I'm over in the corner, like, looking at the fucking floor. Like, watching shit fucking meld together. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. I was supposed to blow the whistle 10 minutes ago.
First time I got this... Oh, go ahead.
I was just picturing him blowing the whistle like he was in a rave.
First time I got suspended was in high school gym class, or middle school gym class, for fighting.
You were fighting off Mr. Fister?
Yeah. I was like, I told that motherfucker I want to change in privacy. No, we were playing flag football, and I dove and grabbed one of the flags, and both of us kind of went down together, so to speak. And
Mr. Fister.
And when I went to get up, this other kid, when I was halfway up, pushed me on my back, down back down to the ground. And I popped up and punched him in his mouth, and then I was sent to the office.
Just like Daniel LaRusso.
I was fucking furious, but that was my first suspension. Who hasn't gone yet?
I have not.
Go for it, Justin.
Favorite thing. The favorite thing probably was in middle school we would play hockey a little, not ice hockey, but floor hockey.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. That's probably my favorite activity. My least favorite, so, they always had, they're like, yeah, once a year, and this was, middle school and elementary school, we're gonna do field day outside in fucking, June, and, you kids are supposed to love this, and, it's freaking hot, there's no way in hell that I enjoy this, And, so I had to deal with that. I hated field day with a passion. Every time I was like, I really don't want to do this. And then, that was one. In middle school, they also we had, weight training, basically. Okay, so, half the class is going to go do something fun, and the rest of you, we're going to go to the weight room, and you can do whatever you want, bench presses, and I'm like, this is not fun. This is not how I envision my gym class. So, yeah. That is my day, my gym experience.
When you did weight training, was it like the opposite mix of people that you thought would be doing the activities? The people you think were into weight training, were the ones that were out doing whatever, and the people that didn't seem to be comfortable around weights were the ones doing the weight training?
That did tend to happen a lot, but so what our school ended up doing is we had 2 coaches or 2 teachers or whatever the hell you want to call them, 2 teachers for the guys and 2 for the girls, and then they would split it. They'd have different activities, and everybody you got to pick what you wanted to do, but one of those activities was health class, of course, that everybody had to do at some point. And the other was yeah, the other would be like a mix of things, you know. And but the weight room was something that like everybody had to do. They're like, no, you can't do 2 fun activities, you know. Like you can do one, and then, you know, after like 4 weeks, you're gonna go to the weight room for 4 weeks as opposed to doing something fun. So that's how it worked for us. It sucked.
I remember in high school, I think weight training was a different class you could take, and like by that point, like all the other guys like the guys that were predestined to be bullies and like assholes in middle school hadn't quite hit their fucking peak yet. But by the time weight training came around, they did. And I remember getting all the shit because I never did weight training. Like I actively was like, no, I'm not doing that. But then I'd get out of school and go home and do my homework and then go to the gym with my brother-in-law for 3 hours, who was a bodybuilder. Yeah. And I would do like real weight training and aerobics and stuff with him for 3 hours. But I was a pansy and a pussy and all these other words high school kids like to use because I didn't spend 30 minutes in the fucking gym doing fucking curls.
Yeah.
So,
you know,
yeah, I always thought that was pretty cute.
I would say that in general, gym in high school sucked because gym in high school, for me, like almost every single year was like, your first class of the day is going to be gym. Like, that's just what I want to, you know, go and do something, get sweaty, and be completely uncomfortable for the rest of the day. You know, like, that's totally what I want to do. Yeah, so I was very low effort gym class person in high school. I just remember, like, I would always be like the very like last person running when they made you do like the like mile run. So I remember one year I'm like, I'm gonna actually try, and like I pushed myself too hard and like puked all over the place. Like I finished it, I was just like blah. I'm like, well, there goes breakfast. That was great. What else happened? I remember the one kid, yeah, because I didn't try. We were playing like baseball outside, and this one kid I couldn't freaking stand. He's like trying to hit the ball. I'm like, I know how to play fucking baseball, you know, like just because I don't care about gym class doesn't mean that I don't know. So it was like one of those things where like your team pitched to you, and I'll never forget that he was giving me the hardest time. And so he threw the ball, and I just like nailed it and cracked him right in the chest, and with the ball, like I hit it right square in his chest, and he fell over on the ground. And yeah, everybody got a little worried for a minute, and then so like yeah, whatever. I got to third base on that. I was very excited for that because everybody was mostly concerned with his health.
Wait,
I'll tell you.
Did you say your team?
Yeah,
your team pitched you?
Our own team was pitching, so I don't know why they did it that way.
That sounds like Mr. Pfister's class.
Yeah, but so my favorite part
you get to third base.
Bobby certainly was the catcher on those teams.
Oh, well, you please relax. He was fine, gentlemen.
I'm gonna finish my story and say that my second at bat was even more epic than the first.
Mr. Pfister finished
because after he pitched and then he ran because he was afraid I was gonna hit him again, and I hit him while he was running and knocked him back over again, and it was like the best day of my life.
Hit him with the bat.
Yeah, I should have hit him with the bat, but no, only with the ball. So, but it was great, and that was like my best gym experience.
He was surprised that Justin got him with the ball shot to the chest, but he was even more surprised when he got him with the second ball shot to the back of the head.
Exactly.
In record time.
So that's all. That's my gym story.
All right.
And me, I remember I was on a swim team in high school. We were city champs. That's actually how I met Lisa. She was on the swim team too. That's why we've always liked swimming. But so, I mean, you want to talk about a pain in the ass. We'd have to work out at 7 a.m. and then again after school, you know, on the team. So my gym class was really fun. I got to be a swim instructor, so it was real easy. I just fucked around in the pool in the middle of the day. That was a lot of fun. That's my story.
All right.
It's real simple.
All right. Last question.
Hello there, gents. Here's a two-part question. What was your favorite vintage game? NES, Genesis, SNES, Atari. Mine is NES Contra. It's a pew-pew, man. Do you currently play a modern game? Single player, multiplayer? Not really what we know as multiplayer. Is it a bread box? Is it a toaster? Do you play the refrigerator? Do you play the corner? I play Star Wars Battlefront 2 with my brother across the country. Thanks, guys. Tiderium Hanger. This actually might be a girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Tiderium Hanger is a female. It fucking blew my mind. I was like, oh, poor lady. Don't subject yourself to this conversation. My favorite vintage game is probably Super Mario Brothers 3. Like, I remember. Do you remember that shit was at the end of the Wizard movie?
Yep.
Like, yeah, dude. I remember seeing that. Like, holy fuck. Because Super Mario Brothers 2 always seemed weird to me. You know, because it was that whatever it was, Pokey Pokey, whatever the fuck that game was. And so, like, when I saw Super Mario Brothers 3 in that movie, I was like, man, this shit looks fucking awesome. And I was like obsessed with it. I was drawing like Mario with raccoon ears and shit like prior to it coming out, and then it came out and I played it nonstop. And I do play Battlefront 2, but I'm not online, so because I'm a dinosaur, and I'm gonna pick up that Spider-Man game hopefully tomorrow.
Oh, is it out? Oh, does it come out tomorrow?
I think it comes out tomorrow.
Oh fuck! I meant to pre-order because I wanted those skins.
This shit looks fucking awesome.
Is it Xbox?
It's PlayStation only.
God damn it! I bought the wrong fucking platform.
No, you didn't. Just get both of them. You can get a PlayStation for cheap right
now. With my luck, I'll buy one, and then all the best games will come out on another system I don't own.
Well, yeah, I was gonna console you on that, but we actually console you on that. But we actually ended up with all of the current systems right now, so it doesn't really matter what comes out on what. I have to second Bobby. Super Mario 3, like, I will never forget the day that game came out.
Yeah.
I was laying on the floor watching TV in the upstairs living room of my mother's house, which you could clearly see from the door because it was a split level. So the lower level was a partial basement. It was 6 feet underground. There was a landing, and so if you walked in the front door, you would have seen me through the railing of the banister, watching TV, wishing I had Super Mario 3 on the green carpet with the air conditioner going on a hot summer's North Carolina day. And my neighbor, who was an older lady named Annie Laura Filial, came over and asked if I would like to go with her on an errand. And she said, I already asked your mom. It's okay if you'd like to come with me. I need your help. And I said, okay. And I got in her green Oldsmobile. And we went to a country buffet at the Kinstonian, which was a hotel. And then she said, I have one more stop to make. And I said, okay. And she took me to Brentel's. I don't want to call it a department store. It was like a Walmart or a Target that we had in the South. And to my surprise, we go to electronics. She's like, I have to pick something up. I said, okay. And she bought me Super Mario Brothers 3. And I went home and I played the shit out of that game for 2 years straight.
Yeah, I bought that shit
I actually grew a beard in elementary school.
It grew on you? I bought that shit from Toys R Us back in the day when you grabbed the little slip out of the plastic bag and then you took it up to the counter to actually get the game. I remember it very clearly.
I didn't even see a Toys R Us until I was already a man, Bobby. Yeah, I take that back. My first time ever going to Toys R Us was the week that the Ninja Turtles NES game came out. That was the very first time I had been to a Toys R Us. We didn't have one in my town. We had one the next town over.
What about you, Justin?
Okay, so I would like to say NES is my favorite, but I feel like I probably have the most fun memories related to my Sega Genesis with my friend. I mean, NES is a classic, but I just feel like Sega is the one I most remember. I think my favorite game is probably Toe Jam and Earl for it. It's one of the ones I can always go back for. If I was going to pick a NES game, though, Maniac Mansion for the NES. Don't know if any of you know that one.
I don't think I ever played it.
Yeah, I know that one very well.
Maniac Mansion.
That rings a bell.
The NES port was so much different than the original PC game.
Yeah, it's a good game. I love Maniac Mansion. So it's a point and click type adventure game. It's awesome. It's done by I think it's Lucas Arts.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. I highly recommend
it. The fucking tentacle fucking killed me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a great game. That's probably one of the best NES games out there. Final Fantasy 1 is also fantastic too. I probably played that more times than I should have, and on way too many systems. What's that? Oh yeah, but the surfing was terrible on that. The skateboarding was where it was at. I sucked at the surfing.
Oh, I remember that game.
The monkey and the...
Oh my god, I love that game.
Maniac Mansion? I'm going to do
the surfing game. The surfing game.
TNT Surf.
Surf Design, or whatever it is. I think it's Surf Design.
I know Robert has to go, but can we go back through with honorable mentions? Because I feel like we can't really...
I didn't get to go yet, no.
Go ahead,
I just said I know Robert needs to go.
Yeah, after you do, we'll go back through with honorable mentions.
And let me finish my thing. For modern systems, I definitely am a fan of like PlayStation 4 stuff. I play a lot of different PlayStation 4 things. Most recently, Monster Hunter World has been something I've been playing, and I feel like I've been stuck on Grand Theft Auto 5 for like 6 years now. I don't even know how long it's been out. Like, that game takes up way too much of my life it's taken up, so it's a little bit sickening to me at this point. But,
we didn't answer, Bobby, we didn't answer the last part of the question.
Which was that?
You and I. Did you? Oh, you said Battlefront. Yeah, I didn't answer it. I'm sorry.
Real quick, Justin, I just want to say the one thing that I liked about Toe Jam and Earl was that it was an adventure game, but there was this role play element to it, like where there was more to do than just fight the bad guys. Like
Toe Jam and Earl is just fun. It's and the fact that you can play it completely randomized, like it's the same game, but like it's different a little at least every time, which I like. So
I agree. What modern games are you playing, Greg?
Battlefront. Modern games that really catch my attention, like Battlefront. I'm like halfway through it. I did play the shit out of that Friday the 13th game when it first came out. I mean, I played it pretty solid for a year. But now I'm playing Mega Man X collection on the Switch, so it's like kind of going back to the old SNES games. Doom, the new Doom, was pretty good for me.
There's a sequel coming.
There is a sequel.
Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be pretty awesome. I haven't played the first one. I want to, because I've heard nothing but good things.
For me, modern games, like what we consider to be modern games, like and not like the indie games and stuff that you get on the Switch, but like modern, like top of the line, like they're fucking super impressive, and like you get sucked into them for a little bit. But then, like for me, it's like I get like halfway through it, I'm like, all right. I'm like, this isn't as engaging. But then I can go back and pick up Mega Man X, which came out in what, 1992, 3? I can pick that up, and I'm like glued to that thing for an entire weekend.
Well, one of the things that's weird about modern gaming, and I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, obviously, but like I feel like with modern gaming, a lot of times you end up like, what's the word I'm looking for exactly? Like, it's harder to go, like PlayStation 1. Like, take PlayStation 1. Like, there was a lot of great games on it, but then, like, it's so hard now to go back to it because, like, they really don't look good at all. And, like, but, like, those old classic, like, pixel art games, like, always look good, you know?
Yeah.
Like that early age of 3D just is not very good.
What about you, Robert?
I love me some Zelda. I also loved back in the day the Dungeons and Dragons stuff for the Commodore, original role playing
Commodore
stuff.
64. That is.
I still remember the Curse of Azure Bonds. It was such a good game. And then I at this point to me it's a classic, GoldenEye, and those really great. I mean, there's a ton of other games I used to play when I was a kid, but those are definitely mainstays. And nowadays when I do get around to playing video games, like me and Scarlett will play Octodad. You ever hear that?
I've heard of it, but I've never messed with it.
It's an octopus pretending to be a human, and he stuffs himself into a suit. And like you can play a co-op where one person's an arm and a leg, and the other person's the other arm and a leg, and it's just goofy as fuck. So that's the long. I mean, I have Battlefront, and I just like to fuck around, but that's about it.
I wanna go back there because I wasn't even thinking about Commodore. I think that would probably be my favorite system. I have more memories for that than Sega even. And
Really?
They had my favorite Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Ghostbuster games. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
Take it out. Take us out
we're
of
not
here.
doing honorable mentions?
Yeah, it's getting a little late, man. Let's pencil that in for next week.
Take us out of here,
Well,
Mr.
can
Fisted.
I hold on just real quick? Can I just say honorable mention because no one mentioned it yet?
Sure.
The TurboGrafx 16.
That's a good
Bonk the
system, too.
Caveman.
Never had it.
How
Never
about the
played it.
Jaguar? Did you guys ever have a Jaguar?
Nope.
You play it?
I beat Battletoads, by the way.
I don't
Game's
believe
hard
it.
as hell.
Fine, plebs. On some fucking 30-year-old system.
Good night, folks. Shout out to Matt.
folks.
Matt, you still haven't sent in any fucking audio. What's up with that?
That's commitment
Got
to the
out
show.
an hour
if
and
you
a
will.
half ago. He could have been on the fucking show.
All right.
Good night,
Till
folks.
next week.
Shardouts to Cool Table Network, ROC, Edges Around, Toy Detox, Plastic Fanatics, Spirit Vultures, Nerve Rage Radio, Wigs, and my personal favorite, the well-established Gentleman's Show, Stasis Lock. At Real Robot, at Fear Corpse, I am Ratchet. Third-party TF Crashers, and Open Your Toys podcast. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only and sole purpose is entertainment. If it doesn't fit with your sensitive sensibilities, please feel free to turn it off now and shut the fuck